Welcome to episode 7, Making a User Interface Seat. This episode, we will go through the parts of using the Microflush toilet seat. The first task is to bring the access panel and the user interface slab to the site, along with all the other pieces with the straight chute slab and the pipe, all the pieces that will be needed during the construction of the seat. First, we will lay a small course of cement on the edge of the user interface opening. And this cement is going to be what we put the preformed concrete slabs for the seat together. And just be careful not to let the concrete slide into the user interface hole, because we'll have to get that concrete out later if anything falls into the user interface. And that's our first task in building this user interface slab. We will put the front section and the back section together, and then we will put on the side panels of the user interface slabs. And Dr. Mecca really believed that it's best if the pipe holding the valve is in the front, and that with that valve in the front, then if the customer flushes a valve while sitting on it, there's less risk of stuff coming up into the user. So here are the preformed slabs in two sections. It's slightly different from what we talked about in the previous episode, but each one works. This slab design gives you a little bit of space, a little wiggle room to adjust the Microflush toilet valve to fit snugly into position. The next task is to put the straight chute bucket slab into place and see how it looks with the Microflush toilet valve. And if there needs to be adjustments, then take it out and adjust the valve, get everything to work just right, and get the square. So get it level, make any adjustments so that the valve will close snugly. So if you see the circle on the valve, that circle should meet up with the circle in the bottom of the cutout bucket, which is now the straight chute of the Microflush toilet. It will take some trial and error to get this right, and this is the step just to make sure you've got that working and you've done what you need to have that connection. And then once you do it, try it again and put in the valve, put in the straight chute bucket slab, and look to see if it connects snugly. Once you have that, then put the cement to connect the straight chute slab to the rest of the pedestal. And then at that point, we have the user interface with the valve in place and the straight chute all connected. Then at that point, we want to have a pipe from the bucket, which is the straight chute, to the sink. And so what's happening now is the pipe is being melted, and the end of it will be fattened, and then the hot pipe will go through the bucket and form a seal. And that will be the pipe that we will use to connect the hose from the sink into the straight chute bucket wall. But you can notice how much faster it is to build the user interface seat. And then we want to do a water test to make sure that the water is tight and there's a seal and the water will remain in the bucket for the next flush. Once we've gotten that, then we are good to go on that bucket. So we'll cut the pipe to the right length, because it will go through the hole and make a tight seal. We now will start filling in the hole with cement and parts of blocks so that the gap between the two preformed pieces of concrete is filled in. We want to have space for the handle to be fitted to the pipe that connects to the valve, and we want to have space so that the pipe connecting to the water hose to the sink will be in place. And if the customer doesn't want to sink right now. It's still in place for that time if they ever choose to add a sink to the solution. And it's just a matter of filling in that gap. And once we have that gap full, then we are good to go with the stucco job. And the commercial toilet is placed into the wet cement to be secured on top of the straight chute bucket slab. The handle has a hole drilled with a hot iron rod where a bolt can be fitted to make a replacement handle easy to install. The outside of the user interface seat is now stuccoed. We thank you for watching episode 7 of the Microflush toilet training videos on how to build a user interface seat.